Good morning. This is Ms. Billerbeck, and we're going to talk about perimeter and circumference of figures. So if we had a little ranch and we wanted to make a fence around the sheep or cattle or whatever we want to imagine my little orange creatures are, okay, we would, and the ground was kind of odd, so we couldn't make a nice straight fence. Okay, we want to find out how much fencing we need to make this little pen. So what we would need to do is find the perimeter of where we would like to put the fence so we can buy the fencing material. So if we list out the various lengths here, we could add them together. So let's do that. So we have 15, 12, 10, 25, and 18. So I'm listing them out as a column to do column addition because it's slightly easier. So let's make sure we have each side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have all the sides. So the easiest thing to do is 5 plus 5 is 10, and 2 plus 8 is 10. So that's 10 plus 10 is 20. Then 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 5, and then plus 3 is 8. So that's a total of 80. So our perimeter, which we could find by saying 10 plus 12 plus 15 plus 25 plus 18 equals 80 feet. So we would need to buy 80 feet of fencing for the pen. All right, let's look at what a perimeter might be for a regular figure. So if we want to find the perimeter of a square with sides of 7 millimeters or 7 meters long. So we could draw a quick little square. Because remember, a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. We have 7 meters, 7 meters, 7 meters, and 7 meters, because all the sides of a square are the same. So we could either write 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, or we could write 4 times 7. In any case, the perimeter equals 28 meters. All right, so let's look at a perimeter of a rectangle with a length of 9 yards and a width of 6 yards. So the figures don't have to be scaled, they just have to communicate what you're trying to find. So we have 9 yards and we have 6 yards. Okay, so we know that opposite sides of a rectangle are the same. So this would be 9 yards and this would be 6 yards. Okay, so if we were to find this, we could just say 6 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9. Or we could say 2 times 6 plus 9, because there's 2 of those 6 plus 9s. So then that equals 2 times 15, which is 30 yards. Now this leads us to the equation that they normally have for a rectangle, that perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width, which is 2 times length plus width. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Okay, but if you don't remember the formula, just remember you're just adding up all the sides. Okay? right, let's look at some circles. So circles, the name for perimeter for circles is circumference. Okay, it's still like a perimeter, but it's just a curved perimeter. Okay, so the circumference of a circle with a diameter of 14 inches. So we draw that out. We have a diameter of 14 inches. Okay, well, perimeter of a circle happens to be pi times the diameter. And they gave us the diameter. So that's easy. It's just 14 pi inches. Okay, so that's actually how they discovered pi, is by taking the measurement of, oh, I'm sorry, that's not perimeter, it's circumference with a C. But remember, circumference is the same thing as perimeter, so circumference equals pi times diameter, or 2 pi r. Okay, but in this case they gave us diameter. But when they discovered circumference, they measured a lot of circular shapes and measured their diameter and then the outside. And so they had the circumference, they had the diameter, and they made a ratio of circumference over diameter to determine what pi is. But we actually don't know how pi ends because it never ends. It's a non-terminating decimal. So I guess there's a prize out there for anyone who finds the end of pi. Okay, so if we have another circle and we're given a radius, so radius is, and this one's 3 meters. Okay, so that means this is 3 meters. And it means if I went across here, that would also be 3 meters. Okay, so a radius starts from the center and goes to the outside. It's the diameter that starts on the outside, goes through the center, and then goes to the other outside. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, circumference when we're using a radius is, notice we have 2r equals the diameter. So that's why we have 2 pi r. So if we have 2 pi times 3 meters, we end up getting 6 pi meters. Okay? Now I'm not multiplying pi right now. All right? I could, but I'm just trying to teach you circumference right now. So if you were to do pi, usually we use pi equals 3.14. And we would just stop with 3.14 when we're using that to multiply. All right. So let's look at the final one here. So the final one, I thought I'd use some other shapes other than rectangles and squares. All right, so what is the perimeter of a triangle shown? Now, if any of you are in the military or have families in the military, you've probably heard walking or securing the perimeter. So that means you've got to walk around your building and make sure it's secure. So if it's not a rectangle or a square or an easy shape or a circle, you just add up all the sides and that's the perimeter. So the perimeter happens to be 11 plus 7 plus 9. So that ends up 9 plus 11 is 20, and then we have 27, and that's centimeters. Okay, we could have also done 11 plus 7, which is 18, plus 9 is 27. Okay, now if you're given a height, you don't need height for a perimeter. So that's just to distract you. You only need the height of a triangle when you're finding its area. All right, the last example I want to do is, what is the perimeter of the trapezoid shown? Okay, again, you only need the height when you're calculating area. So we just need the sides. So the perimeter equals, we have 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 9. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 sides of a trapezoid, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides here. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 9 is 23 inches. Okay, so that's how we find perimeter. We just add up the sides, and that's what it is. And perimeter is always a linear unit. When we get to areas, we have area is square units. We would have units squared. Okay, and volume, we would have units cubed. So keeping track of what kind of units you're going to have is very important when we deal with our geometry concepts. All right, you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.